everybody, it's Sema here, and this time around I'm just going to go ahead and do a brief little overview of the Windwalker Monk. One of my favorite classes I played during Mist of Pandaria is my main. This is one of the only times I switched my main from Priest, and I usually always dabble in a Ret Pally, but I'm not going to go off the page here. Let's see. So I already got my bar set up. Got a decent little transmog on, not my favorite. I should have went with my normal transmog, but let's just delve right in, shall we? Now I did choose some talents already. Let's see how many. Okay, I already chose all my talents. So this tree, or what you're gonna see in the spellbook here, is not gonna accurately reflect what you're gonna start out with. So let's see. Black Owl Kick. Okay, one shy. All right, that's been there. It looks like it doesn't heal you anymore. I'd be surprised if it heals you, just judging by all the heals that they've been neutering. Fist of Fury. Now, this no longer stuns. Okay, guys? Now, I'm just pointing that out. It no longer stuns. And it looks like the cooldown now is modified by haste. I think it was just static 30 seconds before. Pummels all targets in front of you, dealing 518k over 3.8 seconds. Can be channeled while moving. So it looks like they just went ahead and baked in the glyph. You can move while you use it, but it doesn't stun. Chide Torpedo. This no longer heals you. That's kind of a that's kind of a downside to it, if you ask me, because that was one of my favorite parts about it previously, is it healed you, and I stacked versatility, so I was really hard to kill in PvP, and my heals were just great. I like having strong off heals. I think that's really important to a class I like PvPing with, at least. Anyways, Flying Serpent Kick. Okay, looks like it's about the same here. Now, it looks like I'm lagging. That was a really slow start there. It usually goes quicker. Okay, Crackling Jade Lightning. Does it knock you back? And sometimes knocking back melee attackers. Okay, see, before it said the first time somebody hits you in melee, they get knocked back. Healing Elixirs. Now, it looks like it's also has a passive, because it does trigger below 30%, but now it's an active, because before you had Stone Skin Elixir, which increased your HP and damage reduction by 20% or something, and that would heal you with Healing Elixir. And then there was Tiger Eye Brew, believe, which would heal you because it was considered an elixir. Now this is just an active, and it automatically pops. And this is the talent, by the way, I believe. Yeah. So anyways, I'll go over the talents more in depth later. Removes all poison and disease effects from the target. Okay. Leg Sweep. Classic. That's another talent. Disable. Okay, reduce target movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds duration. Refreshed by your melee attacks. Now that's freaking cool. Target's already snared to be rooted for 8 seconds instead. So I'm wondering about that, if you use it twice, or if you use it again upon refreshing it a couple times, they will be rooted? I'm not sure. Paralysis. Okay, incapacitates target for 1 minute. Limit 1. Damage will cancel the effect. Okay. That's pretty cool. I mean, that we got to keep it. It's shocking, really. Okay, now this is the third expansion that they've had monks out, and this is the third iteration of healing that we've seen. Before, it was Chai Spheres, and then it was just some static healing, and now it looks almost the exact same, but it has a different name. So, Effuse, with a different icon. Provoke. Now, I like this, okay? And I'll tell you why. I don't want to go off too much of a tangent here. During Mist of Pandaria, I was so geared on my Windwalker Monk that I would queue up as a tank, okay, and I would pull top DPS, so I would be getting all the aggro, and in dungeons. Let me just preface it that it was in dungeons for heroics. I would queue up as a tank. I would be Windwalker and just wreck everything. Do top DPS, do over 50% DPS on average for all the dungeons, and and it would just speed up the run, because I didn't need to be a tank. I didn't physically need to be in tank to tank. I mean, it's the state of mind. You should be able to tank in other specs. I don't mean like, be like tanking a raid in Windwalker. No, I definitely don't mean that. But I am a human that has the capacity to think and can change my behavior accordingly if somebody's getting pulled. So I'm glad they kept Provoked, but they really neutered the ability for you to queue as a tank while being DPS, because now it automatically is going to switch you into the spec that you queued as. So that sucks. Rest in peace. You couldn't do that in Warlords of Draenor anyways, because I think it is something very similar. Or yeah, I couldn't queue as a tank. I don't know, but maybe I didn't try it enough. I know they fixed it. And just to give you another example, I used to queue as a tank as a Ret Pally. You could tank as a Ret Pally. They had the righteous, the active righteous. No, it was some active that just buffed your aggro rate by a lot. So righteous fury. No, you know what? I can't remember. I don't want to digress, like I said. So, but it really irks me. It's an MMORPG. People should be able to do that. It shouldn't be a game where people are just on a roller coaster for victory. You know. Should be able to think, and if you are geared enough to do that, you should be able to do that. I mean, I never let anybody die under my watch, and I was even able to heal people. Anyways, they have a heal, or they have a res. That's cool. One of the few DPSs, I guess, who got to keep a res. Tiger Palm. This is replacing the jab, so now this is your main attack, and it generates 2, and it looks like it no longer reduces their armor by 30%. Attack with the palm of your hand, dealing 26k damage. Check palm has an 8% chance to make your next blackout kick cost no chai. Okay. Rising Sun Kick. Now, another thing to note, this doesn't buff the damage you deal by 10% anymore to that target. It used to. Kick upwards, dealing 200k damage, reducing effectiveness of healing on the target for 10%. So that's the downside. 2 downsides right there. But Touch of Death, okay. Everybody should know what that is. Spear Hand Strike, another interrupt, or, you know, you got your interrupts, you got to keep it, that's nice. Touch of Karma, pretty baseline. Let's see if they change anything. All damage you take is redirected to the enemy target as nature damage. Over 6 seconds, damage cannot exceed 50% of your max health. Okay, it looks almost the exact same. Spinning Crane Kick. Now, this is something that I do not like. This costs chai now, and I'm pretty sure you even have to have a target. Maybe not. Maybe not on the target part, but let's see. Let's just see. Do I have to have a target to use that now? No target. Okay, so you don't have to have a target, but you still have to have a target to generate chai off of. So, that is the downside to that. Little disappointed. That's really going to impact, I think, the arena, because that was such a nice tool to knock the invisible, you know, knock a monk, or knock the rogue or druid, or maybe even the wandering invisible mage out of invisibility, so, or stealth. Stormfire Earth. Now this is kind of cool. I liked the previous one. It was harder to use. This is a little more intuitive, but the other one, it was, you could, you know, it didn't have a cooldown. This has charges, I believe. Let's see, where did it go? Yeah, 1.5 minute recharge time. That's not cool to me, you know? It's really not cool. Before, you target a couple different enemies and you start your spinning crane kick, and you could really put out some AoE damage, but no longer. Okay, this is your artifact weapon trait. Strike with the bolt with both Fist of the Heavens at all enemies in front of you, dealing 600k damage and reduce movement speed by 50%. Okay, it costs chai though. Ooh, and it looks cool. It does look cool. Now that does not look cool to me. I'm sorry. The other one did look cool. And on a side note, it looks like Survival Hunters have that same exact animation. So they should have just gave it to them and let us keep the old one, because the old one was cool. That makes no sense. You see his hands, and I don't know. Anyways, I'm impressed with a lot of stuff they've done, but some things, for the life of me, I just cannot understand. Okay, Whirling Dragon Punch. Now, there used to be a different. That used to be the same icon for the Spinning Hurricane Kick or something. And that was one of my favorite freaking abilities. Even though it didn't really do a buttload of damage and it was the lesser of the talents. But it was really fun to use nonetheless. And that's why I play games, is to have fun. So, forms a devastating whirlwind upward strike, dealing 245k damage to all enemies. Only usable after Fist of Fury and Rising Sun are on cooldown. So, but it doesn't cost chai. So that's cool. And I will note that this new mastery is freaking, oh my gosh, it's BA. Like, this is such a big improvement, if you ask me. Afterlife, when kill an enemy, summon Healing Sphere, healing you for 230k when you walk through it. When you kill an enemy with backup kick, okay. So when you kill people, it doesn't even, like, I don't ever see when, that'll be useful when you're questing, or when you're just out in the world doing some daily or something, but, you know, I don't see how that's going to be very useful It could be useful in a battleground, I guess, but in arena, I mean, okay, that's, I mean, I guess if two of you are able to kill one of them, then I guess it will be a nice little heal reprieve. So this, as I was saying, the mastery, this is actually really cool. The previous mastery, it only upped the chance for you to get Tiger Strike, or a stack for your Tiger Brew, which after you use it, you get X amount of damage, and the damage was static. So if I stacked mastery in the previous iteration of Whirlwind Monk or Windwalker Monk, it wouldn't actually increase my damage by a whole lot. You know, as compared to like you stacking mastery on an Affliction Warlock, which directly increases the damage of all their dots, or I think the mastery for Destro increased a lot their Ember generation. Not talking about the current iteration, but so I mean there were, and like take the Rep Pally, like the more mastery you have, the more damage you do with all of your attacks. It does double damage. It does the holy damage. What is that? Is that a person? No. So this is really cool. There's actually, you know, that's really nice to stack mastery now. So your abilities deal 18% more damage when they are not a repeat of the previous ability. So just give you a little run through. I mean, really, you should never be, just about never, you know, just about freaking never are you gonna be using the same ability like that. Boom, and there it is. That, I like the way the other one looked better. You know, it had the same icon. It had different spell name, but whatever. Anyway, so I think that would be really cool. It'll be interesting because, you know, there's such, you can keep this mastery going for a while. I had to use Crackling Jade Lightning there, but so boom, mastery still going strong here. Boom. Go and switch to that. Now, that doesn't seem very effective, I will say that, to use that, but it did keep my mastery going, so that's really cool. I'm impressed. I wonder if you could use something else to proc it, like disable, or does it have to do damage? Your abilities deal 18% damage. It probably has to deal damage. So, but the Tri-Torpedo, that doesn't even deal damage now. I guess you could throw in a Flying Serpent Kink. Oh, I guess technically you probably could. If the Crackling Jade Lightning works, I'm sure you could toss in a Flying Serpent Kick. So okay, let's jump right into the artifact now. Just real quickly here. Started out, you saw that Strike of the Windlord. Okay, increase damage dealt by Blackout Kick by 20%. Okay, redirected. Also heals you. Now that's really cool. I like that. So your Touch of Karma now heals you. And, you know, I'll say that whenever I was raiding back in Miss Pandaria and I was on Garrosh, like the Touch of the Karma was just so great on that last phase when he starts doing those whirlwinds. Like, they just deal so much damage, and I could just be like, yeah, Touch of Karma, and I'm going to keep DPSing. Alright, increased damage dealt by spinning Crane Kick by 10%. Okay, makes the chance for your Tiger Palm to make the next Blackout Kick cost no chai by 6%. Okay, so I think that's 12% now. No? That'd be 14% now. Okay. Activating Transcendent Transfer heals you for 20% of your maximum health over 6 seconds. Now that's pretty cool. You know, I feel like that you're going to see some really annoying monks this expansion. You know, they're baking passives in there. Like before you physically had to heal, run away and heal. Now they're going to be running away anyways. And they're just going to be getting heals passively through some of their abilities. During Fist of Fury, Wind Spear images of you attack your Fist Fury target for a total of 158k additional physical damage. Okay. Increased damage dealt by Tiger Palm by 30%. Blackout Kick and Rising Sun. Increased damage dealt for your next Fist of Fury by 5%, stacking up to 10 times. Blackout Kick and Rising Sun Kick. Now that's cool, but it almost seems like that's counterintuitive when you take into account the mastery. So I'm basically supposed to just use these 3 abilities over and over while that's on cooldown, and then use that if I really just want to get the most out of my transfer of power. So I want to look into that a little further. I have one more test dummy here, so. Okay, Rising Sun Kick strikes the second time for 20% additional damage. Increase maximum damage by 30%. I mean, that used to be a talent. Increase the damage of your Earth, Fire, and Storm. Fist of Wind, increase damage dealt by Fist of Fury by 15%. Increase damage done by your Touch of Death by 10% of all damage you dealt to the target during the duration. Okay. So that's cool, because I don't know if you know this. This Touch of Death usually will not kill a boss. It may become active after they are below a certain percentage, but you use it and it just does X amount of damage. So on boss fights, I could see that being nice. I could be seeing that, or I could see that being really useful. Increase dodge chance by 10%. Now, I'm kind of, like, I don't know why they want to, like, take things away. This character sheet right here is, like, it's not even fun to look at. Like, 4 stats, can't even see your movement speed, can't see anything, anything extra. Just basic stuff. Like, was it hurting anybody? Was it taking up that much extra memory, Blizzard? I'm not sure. I can't understand that decision. To make the game simpler in that regard. It is an MMORPG, and stats do matter. It doesn't even show your weapon damage anymore, I mean, this is... Not impressed, Blizzard. Not impressed by this. This wasn't hurting... The previous character sheet was not hurting anybody, in my opinion. I mean, hey, by all means update it, but there should be at least another tab here listing the rest of my information, my movement speed. I know there's some other stats that I'm drawing a blank here, but my attack speed doesn't even show how many attacks per second I have anymore. Not impressed with that decision there. So there we have it, and it looks like the server is restarting. So let's briefly go over these talents. Chai Burst. I will say that out of the third one, there used to be Chai Sphere, I believe it was. Yeah, there was something like that, and it was my favorite one. Just casted a healed you over time and dealt damage at the same time, and then when you fell under certain health or after X amount of time, it would explode, dealing even more damage. That was my favorite one. Like, Chai Burst, I'm sorry, I don't want to use that. Chai Wave, like, a lot of people like that, but I never really liked it. So Eye of the Tiger it is for me. Tiger Palm also applies Eye of the Tiger, dealing 33 nature damage to an enemy and 33 healing to the monk over 8 seconds. So, okay, well, just pick the passive, but I'm just being honest here. The Chai Wave, I guess, would be more helpful for the mastery, so keep that in mind. Tiger's Lust. Now, I always liked Tiger's Lust, but if it comes down to Chai Torpedo and Tiger's Lust, I don't know. I'm like, this, I don't know. I mean, they really gimped the monk's movement speed, and I guess they're just trying to, like, emphasize the Demon Hunter's insane mobility, but, like, I don't know why they want to neuter every other class's mobility, and they know that the Demon Hunter just has just absolutely insane, and that's not even accounting, like, wait till the Demon Hunters start getting engineering and have their nitro bursts, and, I mean, like, it's just going to be insane. Energizing Elixir. This used to be baseline, but here we go. Chug an Energizing Elixir, refilling all your energy in Chai. So, okay, it used to be baseline, but now it's better. Okay, now it should immediately restore all of your energy in Chai instead of just buffing your energy regeneration. It was almost not even noticeable, but I will also note that used to proc the Healing Elixir as well. So, I'm assuming that it will still do that. Keep that in mind. Increase your maximum Chai by 1 and your energy regeneration by 10. Of course, went with that. Power Strikes, that's useful every once in a while. I mainly used that on whenever I was going Brewmaster tank, though, so. Leg Sweep, okay, pretty baseline, or, you should know about that. It's been with the monks since the beginning. Dizzying Kicks, Blackout Kicks, also reduce the target's movement speed by 70% for 3 seconds. Now, that's pretty cool for PvP. Could really help peel a melee. Ring of Peace, now, they've changed this quite a bit. In Mist Pandaria, if anybody used a spell or anything, they got silenced and disarmed. And then, throughout Warlords of Draenor, it was almost useless. But now, enemies in the ring that use a harmful spell or ability will be knocked out of the ring. So that's nice. Too bad I don't think it'll interrupt somebody unless there's just some kind of lag going on there. Alright, Healing Elixirs, already went over that. Diffuse Magic, okay, these are all on the same tree now. Reduce damage you take by 6% for 6 seconds and transfer all currently active harmful magical effects back to the original caster if possible. I could see that being really useful in Arena versus, some Affliction Warlocks or some Shadow Priests. But as far as, like, a boss going, I don't think it's going to redirect any damage back to the boss. I don't think so. I doubt it. Reduce all damage you take by 30% for the next 3 attacks, and the damage you and that damage you for 15%. Next 3 attacks that damage you. Okay, for 15% or more of your maximum health castable while stunned. Now, usually don't have trouble reading, but that just seemed a little confusing there. Hit combo. Each successive attack that triggers combo strikes in a row grants 2% increased damage, stacking up to 8 times. Okay, so back to the mastery. Should just make your mastery even more potent. Summons an effigy of Zwin, the white tiger, for 45 seconds. Zwin attacks your primary target and strikes 3 enemies within 10 yards every 1 second with tiger lightning for almost 8k nature damage. Okay, Rushing Jade Wind. Now this doesn't look like it replaces the spinning jade crane kick anymore. So there is that. Oh, Chai Orbits. Same icon, but it looks a little different. Every 5 seconds an orb of energy forms and rotates around you until it impacts an enemy, dealing 29k, maximum of orbs. Now that's pretty cool. That's just more passive damage. That I doubt that'll work with the mastery because it's not an active. So if I'm trying to maximize the mastery, Whirling Dragon Punch is the way to go. Okay, Serenity. Enter an elevated state of mental and physical serenity for 8 seconds. While in this state, you deal 45% increased damage and healing, and all chai consumers are free and have 50% reduced cooldown. Now, I'm a little weirded out by this because this replaces one of your effective AoE abilities. So you deal 45% increased damage. So I'm wondering, do you still have these other, Earth, Storm, and Fire, or I almost want to go back to town to check that out, but I don't think I really have time now. So let's just briefly look over the honor talents. Alright, so hardiness. Okay, this looks like it's pretty baseline for most melees. Well, they 80% health, you take 20% less damage. Okay, health increased by 10%. Okay, sparring, physical melee. Have a 20% chance to be blunted, dealing 50% reduced damage. Now these are pretty much all baseline. This one right here just depends on if you're melee. This seems to be baseline for just about everybody. Okay, now I will note, I'm really curious to see how that works with the Orc Synergy hardiness. Looks like they buffed it. I thought it was 15%. Duration of sound effects reduced by 20%. So I'm a little curious. That would make sound effects reduced by 45%. Not even counting DRs. Okay, Yulan's Gift. Using Chai Torpedo or Fly and Serpent Kick will dispel all snares and affecting when you use. Okay, now that's pretty cool. Doesn't heal you though. Doesn't heal you. Reduce cooldown transcendence transfer by 5 seconds. Okay. You move 15% faster for 3 seconds after being attacked. Interesting. I don't think that's going to help offset the mobility of the Demon Hunters though. Reduce all damage taken by 90% for 4 seconds. Fortifying Elixir. I mean, hey, at least we have the option to get it back. It used to be baseline. Whirling Kick, Spinning Crane Kick increases your movement speed by up to 100% and heals you for 10% of your maximum health over 5 seconds. The number target struck by Spinning Crane Kick increases this effect. Now this is cool, but this costs 3 chai. And heals you 10% of your maximum health. By the time I get 3 chai, I'm already taking, clearly I'm going to be taking more damage than I'm dealing. So I just don't think that's going to be very effective for my playstyle. But I guess if I mean it is the only passive, so something to consider. The Agile Essence of the Wind infuses your flying serpent can allow you to control the winds during your flight. Now I'm interested to see how this goes. Doesn't look like I have enough time to queue up for a BG or anything. Flying Serpent Kick now has an additional charge. Okay, Flying Serpent Kick forms a path of wind that wakes, causing all allies who stand it to have 30% increased movement speed and to be immune to movement slowing effects. Now this could be really cool for some RBGs. It would be really freaking sick. Spinning Fire Blossom. This used to be baseline in MoP, and I used the hell out of it in Arena. And it looked so cool. It was just like a little flower, like, and sometimes it would root them. So, but it doesn't look like that's there. If Spinning Fire Blossom is cast on a target outside melee range, the damage is increased by 50%, and you root the target by 1.5 seconds. Okay, so that's good. I'm glad that's back. And I guess that's what these honor talent systems are for, is to say, screw you PvE, we can do what we want in PvP. Fist of Fury has a 5-yard increased range, and targets hit by Fist of Fury are stunned for 4 seconds. Finally. Okay, but that used to be baseline, I will say that. Rushing Tiger Palm. Tiger Palm has now a 10-yard range and reduces target movement speed by 25% for 2 seconds when used. You instantly dash the target. Now, I don't see how, I mean, like, this is just going to be badass. Like, anyways, though, that's pretty much the basic overview. I don't have any of the legendary items on me or anything, so I just wanted to give you guys just my thoughts compared to the previous iterations. It looks like, you know, that it's going to be a fun expansion for Monks, if I gotta say. I mean, they did lose a little bit of their go-to heals, but you got some other heals baked in other areas, so that's nice. You know, I am gonna miss. I'm certainly gonna miss having 3 charges of Tri Torpedo, because you could previously. This was, all these were the same, or Tri Torpedo was down here, so, and it would heal you and deal damage. But now it gives you the movement speed. But you would have 3 charges, and you would also have that glyph that would increase the range of your next Tri Torpedo for like 5 seconds after using it. So, but I mean, I guess you can't really look back, because it's not like there's some pristine server or some legacy server that we could go play. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them. Okay, all right, peace out, people.